Here's a nice reveal for you. Copy in Glasgow, can you beat it? So here we are in Edinburgh again. It's the best city in the world. You've got to come back more than once. I've been coming back for 56 years. We're going to go somewhere different today. So we're on Lothian Road. That's the Caledonian Hotel. It's Princess Street at the end of the road. We're going up the way. This is Lothian Road. We're going to take a walk up to the Usher Hall. We're going to end up at the Grassmarket. Then the Cowgate, somewhere different. So, hope you enjoy. Big shout out to everybody who watches my videos. It means a lot. Shoot me a subscription. It only takes a second. If you like what you see, subscribe. It's free. On the left you've got the Exchange Plaza. If you continue straight on that way, you'll come to Scotland's rugby ground, Murrayfield. But we're going this way. So we're going to come up on the Usher Hall. Beautiful building. Puts me in mind of the library in Manchester. These are all parts of Edinburgh that are never really featured in my videos before. I had a mate that worked in there. He was lucky enough to meet Noel Gallagher when he worked in there because he was involved with the concerts and the security. So he met Noel Gallagher and he got Noel Gallagher to sign a Man City versus Hibernian FC football programme. How cool is that? You know who you are. So directly in front is the Sheraton Hotel. People always say, have you ever seen anybody famous in Edinburgh? You're like, well, yes, once upon a time saw Billy Connolly because he was staying at the Sheraton Hotel. That's pretty cool. So here we are, walking in this amazing building. This is Lothian Road. When I was young, it used to be a great place to come clubbing and pubbing. It used to be a great place to come and do loads of other stuff as well, which we'll not go into on this video. Wonderland Toy Shop, do you think we should go in? I'm 56, I need a toy. So if you notice, in between the buildings, you might be able to see a spire. That's St Giles Cathedral on the Royal Mile. So let's head that way. Back in the day, my sister, unfortunately, had to sign on in this job centre. Don't get me wrong, I was signing on in the job centre in Musselburgh. We used to both sign on. The one thing about job centres is you don't want to go there for a job unless you want to flip burgers, clean the streets or wash dishes. You'll be fine for minimum wage. It's not so bad nowadays, to be honest. Back in the day, I was an apprentice mechanic and I'd done like a YTS, and I'd done 3 years of my apprenticeship, and I lost my job. I lost my job because of some actions I took. Got a couple of my mates together and we went up to Edinburgh to have a word with these guys who had been causing me nothing but grief, causing my family grief, phoning up my mum and dad, telling them stuff that wasn't true, like that I wouldn't be coming home because I'd been run in and left in some bushes somewhere. But anyway, to cut a long story short, I went up to Edinburgh. I knew where the guy was going to be. Me and my pal, we jumped into a car. My pal knocked out one of them and I knocked out the other. That was it. But unfortunately, it made the papers and I lost my job. And then after that, I went from being a potential mechanic on about £40 an hour to being a dishwasher. So now you want to understand why I went away to college and learned how to do photography and digital media. You'll realise it only took me till I was fucking in my 50s. Another pound in the swear box, it's alright. So this is Argyle House. This is where you come to do your PIP assessment, if it's even still called PIP assessment now. But this is where you come when you're trying to scam the benefit system. As if it's that easy to scam the benefit system. You've only got to see about 50 doctors, 50 fucking psychiatrists, occupational therapists, and once you can fool all of them, again, it's quite easy to fool Argyle House. Not. But that's the common consensus among working people. These people on PIP, they didn't work, they get loads of money and they get their rent paid, and you're like, aye. And Elon Musk makes £1 trillion dealing in Bitcoin, funding presidents and getting the presidents to fund all his companies like SpaceX and Tesla, but you get yourself caught up on the people that are on PIP. A personal independent payment for a disabled person. So like I say, everywhere you go in Edinburgh, you'll find that castle. So we're coming into the Grass Market now. It's what I would call the medieval part of Edinburgh. Still looks pretty much the same as it did 400-500 years ago. It's pretty amazing, the architecture's woof, wait till you see this. So here we are folks, at the Grass Market. Guess what else is at the Grass Market? You'll never guess. I'll show you in a minute. That bloody castle again. This is the back end of the castle. You can see the round tower there. That's David's Tower, and you'll see the Union Jacob in the back. Grass Market. Some type of market on the day.
Als misschien een beetje zo bij dan
Some paella. Where else can you get a paella? The paella and the grass market in Edinburgh. Perfect. Can you beat the architecture in Edinburgh? Look at that. This is the grass market, folks. Some of the pubs have been here for hundreds of years. Same pub. There's the world famous Beehive. That will be the Beehive. Nice pub. Busy, innit? Loads of people chilling, having a wee pint, a wee glass of wine, whatever tickles your fancy. If it was me, it would be a single malt, probably a Glenfarclas class, 105 proof, original cask strength, 63% alcohol by volume. You can only buy a miniature. Get some Japanese food. Harajuku kitchen. You can get it all in Edinburgh. It's a multicultural city. You can get whatever you want here. I mean whatever you want. You can even get weed. I just smelt somebody smoking a joint. And a bit of skunk. The architecture's fantastic. If only you could smell the same smell I'm smelling. It's coming through pretty cool. It almost takes me back. I used to smoke that shit like daily. So this is the last drop, and well, sort of reminds me of Boston during the World Cup in Scotland. Tartan Army, we'll be coming, we'll be coming, we'll be coming down the road. When you hear the noise of the Tartan Army boys, we'll be coming down the road. So this is Maggie Dixon's The Legend of Half Hingit Maggie. It's a story about a woman who was hanged in Edinburgh, and they were shipping her body back to Musselburgh, horse and cart style, and they realised she was still alive in the coffin, hence the name Half Hangit Maggie. Maggie Dixon. I think she had an affair with somebody she loved, cheating on somebody she didn't love that didn't love her. But then back in the day, well, you were classed as a witch if you went against the system. Nowadays you just get cancelled. So this is Victoria Street. Normally when I come to Edinburgh, I come in the other way for the Royal Mile, which is up at the top of that, and turn left. But I'm usually up on the balcony, above the orange, white and grey buildings there in the front. That's Victoria Street. It's a nice name, Victoria. I never used to like the name Victoria, but then I've got a daughter called Victoria, so I love that name now. I just never used to like it because of the connection to Queen Victoria and the Kaiser and the Tsar and all the rest of them. But thank God I've got a daughter called Victoria. So we're not going up Victoria Street today. We're going to go this way. We're going to head towards the cow gate. Yep, it's a gate with a big cow, so look out for the cow. Can you get a bit of bagpipes? My last video in Edinburgh I got another copyright strike. I'm not sure why it was copyright strike, but I don't think it was the bagpipes. First time we've seen the police all day. Must be a way to buy some donuts. There's a Fast Black. That's it. So we're in the cow gate. That's why the shop's called the Coo Gate. We never say the words right, because words are spelling. Words are spells. So in order to break the spell, you have to speak in your natural dialect. Well, that's what I think. I mean, words are spelling. If you think about it, spelling, writing is a writ. Think about cursor, it's a curse. Cursive. I mean, let's get about it. It's like television. No, television. I'm going to tell you my vision. I'm going to channel it into you. I'm going to program you on repeat. Yep, channeling. It's science. Science. So this is the cow gate. I like the big arches. Oh, it's falling down. Oh no. It's falling that way. It's back straight. What was I was saying earlier about Queen Victoria and the Kaiser and the Tsar? Neither king nor Kaiser. This is what's known as Little Ireland. It's got a connection to Ireland because of a certain Republican who used to live here. His name was James Connolly. Up there are. So here's my face. And now we're walking down towards one of my favourite places in the world. It's called Access to Industry. It's a place you can go when you try to get back into adult education. It's the place I went. A few people sort of had a laugh at me for going because it's not exactly Napier University, but it's where you start if you want to go to Napier University. One of my mates who was on a class with last summer, he's just finished a 1-year course at New Battle Abbey and he's going to Napier University in September. So laugh away because it's a place where you can go to make your dreams come true. I've been gone for the last few years. And to be honest, it's because of Access to Industry that I'm making videos and uploading on digital media. And let's be honest, I'm 56. Yep, 56. 5 and 6 are living. You ever heard of Janus, the god of doorways? He's about as real as the other god. So this is the Three Sisters in Edinburgh, in Cowgate. Been here many a time for a drink. It's the sort of place you would start off drinking, and then once you've got a few bevies inside, you would go night clubbing. I used to come here with my sister. They're lucky to have 3 sisters. I've got 1 sister. She's no longer with us, but no, she is. She's with us every day, but only in spirit. She's not here in body anymore. I miss my sister. We all miss my sister. I've heard you hanging your clothes out on the line, but hanging your trainers out on the line, that's a new one. Last time I came up here, there was 2 pairs hanging. Monkey see, monkey do. So the building in front is Access to Industry. This is such an amazing place. I came here about 2 or 3 years ago, done Access Photography, Access Digital Media, Routes to Communities, done a few different courses. And now I actually volunteer for Access to Industry on a photography group. It's kind of like we all help each other because we've all got like a backstory. A lot of us were in recovery. Some of us, like myself, have been in recovery for the best part of a decade, but I didn't believe all this that you're always in recovery. I would say you've just always got to be in control. And if you're at a wedding and you fancy a pint, don't have a pint. Just didn't have 10 pints. Just take control. Access to Industry. Everybody that works in Access to Industry, I'd like to give you a big shout out because you have all helped me, and not only have you helped me, but you've helped loads of people, and you can see it. You can see people like myself coming through the door, not got a Scooby-Doo, then after a year or 2, you just transform. It's like you blossom. It's almost like you become a monarch butterfly. Wouldn't there be an Ian Fraser video if it's on wildlife? Moo. Did you know that cows have different dialect? So like a cow from Yorkshire will have a different moo than a cow from East Lothian. Bet you never knew that. It makes sense. Because humans have different dialect. Like you should hear the way people speak in Musselburgh as compared to people who speak in Edinburgh. It's completely different. And if you hear people that live in Prestonpans, they speak totally different to the people in Musselburgh. And then you've got the belters in Connent. They're called belters because they used to make belts. That's a belter, eh? If you've not heard of Cozzy, C-O-Z-Z-Y, get on Cozzy, Manchester, belter. So this is Blair Street. It's one of these streets in Edinburgh that's like in San Francisco, built on hills. It's alright if you've got lungs. I suffer from COPD, so Christ, it'll take me about 3 hours to walk up here, but I'm going to do it because my doctor told me keep walking. So guess what? I'm walking. So this will be the City Cafe, or the City Cafe in Edinburgh. I'm not sure about nowadays, I've not been for a long time, but it used to be pretty trendy in there. You could go in and listen to some top DJs playing while you were having a dinner and a drink. It was pretty cool. Usually sold unusual items, sweeties that you can't get anywhere, stuff like that. But if you've not been to Edinburgh, check out the City Cafe. Tired of feeling like a little man? What you trying to see like? I'm 5'8". So the pub crawl starts here. It's enough of a job that you've got to crawl on your hands and knees just to find a pub. Usually it's crawling to find a taxi on the way home. So according to some really clued up person on the internet, somebody who's telling the truth, somebody who's know about clicks and likes and subscriptions and that, reckons that there's a World Cup conspiracy At every World Cup, FIFA allocate a certain number of colours as the logo for that year, and going by year to year, the last time it was white and light blue and Argentina won. So going by that conspiracy theory, the team that's going to win the 2026 World Cup is Portugal. Now, if it happens to be true, you heard it here first. And if it happens not to be true, well, I hope your fucking internet bubble didn't burst. So here we are outside the Moore Bakery. In my humble opinion, the Moore Bakery is one of the top bakeries in Edinburgh. It's a wee bit on the expensive side, but it's worth it. You can get a gourmet haggis sausage roll, you can get a steak and Stilton pastel, you can just about get anything you want. You can get some lovely vegetarian dishes and get paninis, wraps, toasties, pastries, blah blah blah, flat white, espresso, cappuccino, baguettes. It's really nice. It is nice, even the crisps are nice, the juice, the coffee's fantastic. So if you're in Edinburgh, there's more bakeries everywhere, or should I say more bakehouse. You've got one outside the St James's Quarter, you've got one outside the Waverley Shopping Market, you've got them all over. Fantastic bakery, so get on the Moore Bakehouse. So this is Hunter Square in Edinburgh. If you were ever going to get jumped in Edinburgh, it would probably be in Hunter Square. This is where you get some of the finer members. I love this tune. Surely you can't get a copyright strike for bagpipes. I've made 10 videos, I've only had about 8 or 9 copyright strikes. Luckily my channel's not monetised yet. By the time it gets monetised, I'll not be making any more copyright. Just like I don't be swearing on my videos. I mean, put on cut. Here comes the bride again. Perfect timing with the bells. No wedding bells. Wish you every success. It's a fantastic place to get married. You're not going to forget it in a hurry, are you? Get married on the Royal Mile. This is Edinburgh is still quiet. I'm not looking forward to when it gets busy next month for the International Festival. Whoa! Wait till you see it then. Right, what we're going to do is we're going to take a pit stop. Take a wee spit stop. Got a seat somewhere. Right here. So we went into the Moore Bakery, got myself a pink grapefruit. Can't beat a bit of grapefruit juice. Like I said, the juice is brilliant. Damn, that is good. It's funny as well. So, I hope you're enjoying my latest video in Edinburgh. I wasn't really feeling it today, but you've sometimes got to just force yourself to go out. And once you get out and maybe do 5 or 10 minutes filming, before you can it, you're on a roll. And stuff just happens. Stuff just appears before you. I'm still not quite at the stage of interviewing people yet. I mean, I could, didn't get me wrong. I could interview people, no problem. But that's for another day. Sun's poking itself through right on the top of the cathedral. Right in the middle. Perfect. So, I love it up in Edinburgh, it's very peaceful. If you're anything like me, and you like watching vloggers on YouTube, I'll give a few shout outs to some of the vloggers I watch. Obviously, I watch Charlie Veitch, I watch Billy Moore, I watch Knockout Audits, I watch Cozzy, I watch Mad Manny. Mad Manny's brilliant, by the way, so is Knockout Audits. All of them are brilliant. Billy Moore, Charlie Veitch, DeMarco TV, The Lesbian Cartel, MKR TV, My Breaks Don't Work, English Ned. They're all brilliant characters. The only thing is, I disagree with them on a lot of stuff. I disagree with them on the left wing, right wing stuff. Left wing and right wing people need to get together, and then we can all have cities like Edinburgh. You never really see it. You sometimes see it. You sometimes see the Scottish Socialist Party in Edinburgh. Well, when I say sometimes, I mean every single time you come, but it's just in one wee corner of the town, and well, fair play to them. They're not exactly a bad bunch. I'd say the left are very misguided at the moment. I mean, to me, left wing and right wing are basically the same thing. It's like if you think about a double-headed eagle, it's got a left wing and a right wing. The reason why it's got a double head is because it's a double crosser. You know, like the double cross. So this is what they've been using for hundreds of years to separate people, is religion. And it works. It really works. You've got 1/3 of the world all hijacked with Christianity. You've got another third of the world hijacked with fucking Islamism. And then you've got another third of the world hijacked with Hinduism and Buddhism. It's like, is there anywhere in the world where there's no religion? I know they've tried to ban religion, like in Russia, they banned religion during the Communist Revolution. They tried to ban religion, and religion got bigger. It's a bit like when you banned the Sex Pistols, God Save the Queen. It went to #1. You've got to be careful when you're watching banned stuff, because when they tell you someone's banned, what they're really saying is, watch this. But when they tell you not to watch somebody, and they tell you that this person's cancelled, that this person's an anti-Semite, and this person's an anti-Islamist and all that, you've really got to wonder, when you can't criticise somebody, you've got to say, well, why can I not criticise somebody? Like, let's get rid of freedom of speech, because let's not criticise anybody. Let's make sure everybody feels okay. Like, you've got objective reality and you've got subjective reality. So objective reality is, I'm sitting here on a bench in Edinburgh on the Royal Mile talking to you on my DJI camera. Subject reality is when I take offence to something, and the person sitting next to me doesn't take offence to it. That's subject reality, and it's not something you can legislate for. I feel alarmed, harassed and distressed, aye. That's how I feel every time I see somebody in a Rangers strip. But I'm not going to pass a law banning people, I'm not going to pass a law banning people wearing Rangers strips, because then you would have to ban people wearing Celtic strips. And then where do you draw the line? Just ban football strips altogether, and then we can just ban football. And then after that we can just ban sport. What about that? So this is the world we're living in now. You can't tell jokes anymore. Back in the day, the second most powerful person after the king was the Joker, the jester. So work that one out. Well, that pink grapefruit was absolutely delightful. I realise how privileged I am to be sitting here in Edinburgh, making my videos, drinking pink grapefruit juice, going for a double bacon and cheeseburger. It's fantastic. but you've got to spare a foot for the homeless. So before I came up here today, I went and took a few bob at the bank, went into the shop, got some change, and made a point of handing out a few fivers to some homeless people. Not every homeless person, because if I did that, I'd be homeless. But I made sure I helped out 2 or 3 people. I always do that. There was one lassie, she was just sitting next to a fishing bucket, and she looked pretty grim. I didn't mean she looked grim, she looked quite nice looking, but she looked like in a bit of a state, and she said hiya to me. Now, I'm not stupid, she's probably saying hiya in the hope that I give her some money, but the fact that she said hiya and never asked for money was like, well, there you go. And I said to her, oh, hang on, I've got a fiver in my pocket. And I actually had a £5 note and a £10 note, so I thought I was pulling out the £5 note, and I pulled out the £10 note, and I was like, oh, well, here you go, it's a lucky day, here's a tenner. And that's what you should do with the homeless people. Imagine if the homeless people and the working people and the middle class people all got together and helped each other out. Somebody was telling me the other day that they went for a pint of beer, and it was £9. And I was like, that's crazy, because you can go and buy a pint of beer for £3 or £4. Why would you pay £9? Why would you not go and buy a pint of beer for £3 and then give the change to a homeless person? Get to some rich person that lives in a gated community that drives past you in his Rolls Royce and thinks you're beneath him. Just some working class toe rag, or even worse, some benefit scrounger. Let's go and give your money to him. Let's go and give your money to the guy that drives about in a Lamborghini. And that's what you do, give your money to him and just keep looking down your nose at the homeless. Anyway, this is the type of stuff you get at Ian Fraser Media. I might be wrong, I'm not trying to say I'm right, I'm just trying to tell you how I see this place. I see this place as the most hypocritical place ever. The most hypocritical place ever. What was it Jesus said on the Sermon on the Mount? Jesus said, the meek shall inherit the earth. Well, when I'm not out with my camera, I'm sometimes in my house playing my guitar, and I write songs, and I was going to share just a couple of words for one of the songs. It's based on the Sermon on the Mount, and it goes something like this. All you meek are looking bleak, too scared to stand up, too scared to speak, far too dependent on a wage at the end of the week. So all you meek better learn to speak. If you like what you see, shoot me a subscription. It's free. Some people would say it's terrible to deface a statue like that. But I would say, no, we're just copying Glasgow. Some people would say Glasgow smiles better. People make Glasgow. People make everywhere. Glasgow's good. Back in the day I used to go to Glasgow, and there used to be loads of Glaswegians there. It was crazy. It was just Glasgow was filled with Glaswegians. And then I went through to Glasgow 2 weeks ago, and I was like, where have all the Glaswegians went? They didn't seem to be there anymore. But anyway, people make Glasgow just like people make Edinburgh. They're two completely different cities, they really are. Right, you walk about Glasgow for 2.5 minutes and you'll see trouble. You walk about Edinburgh all day, you'll not see any trouble. That's the difference. Sorry Glasgow. I love the people of Glasgow. I support Glasgow Celtic. And I love the Glasgow Rangers fans, because what would Celtic be without Glasgow? Come on, I love even more. Hearts and Hibs. Come on, Hibs. There's no Oasis. I like this guy.
But he's so fit.
Speaking of jesters, there's a jester right there. He's got the king's ear. I mentioned that I got a copyright strike a couple of weeks ago, and I was like, why? What did I do wrong? So there's the Royal Mile Whiskies, and I went in there with my camera on, and that's maybe what got me the copyright strike, filming the whiskies. I didn't mean it, but Christ almighty, get a grip. Copyright strike. If I was Prime Minister, the first thing I'd do was ban copyright.
No, they like you.
Bagpipes on a sunny afternoon. The gimbal's a bit jerky today. We're back up towards the castle. This used to be the Edinburgh Sheriff Court. It's moved now, just a one street up. But you've never lived if you've never been to the Edinburgh Sheriff Court. And you've certainly never lived if you haven't been locked up inside Edinburgh Sheriff Court. And you've definitely never lived if you have never been taken down in Edinburgh Sheriff Court. It's a nightmare. Probably one of the worst days of my life was in that building. Just before Christmas. Ended up doing a Christmas and New Year in sunny Stockton. Yippee. It was great. It was actually great. I didn't really see it as being in prison. It was more like being on a holiday with the youth club. It was cool. No, nowadays, I'm talking like 20 odd years ago, maybe 30 years ago. Nowadays, when you go into prison, you need to super glue your trainers on because some wee rat will try and steal them. Anyway, that's Edinburgh Sheriff Court. So this is the wash bar in Edinburgh. It's for people who haven't had a bath or a shower. You can go in, get a bath and a shower and a pint. Brilliant. Only in Edinburgh. That's just a fantastic bit of architecture. We'll definitely get a sky parallax on that. So that's Calton Hill, centre of the screen. There's a building up there, looks like the Acropolis in Athens. It was never finished. Edinburgh Council ran out of money, or so they say. Probably had to fund some other thing instead, but the monument was never finished and it's now called Edinburgh's Disgrace, but I don't think there's anything disgraceful about it. It's amazing. Quick walk down the steps. The Playfair Steps. Playfair Steps, it puts me in mind of the World Cup, except most of the players in the World Cup aren't playing fair. They're pulling each other's jerseys like a bunch of wee Jessies. They can't play a game of sport without cheating. They all think they're alpha males. What they actually are is all fucking very overpaid. And that's what makes them think they're alpha males. They're fucking beta males. Pulling each other's jerseys. Fair play, my arse. Edinburgh Waverley. I'm going to be in Edinburgh Waverley soon. I'm not sure whether I should go south or whether I should go west. I'd go west and go through to Glasgow, and if I went south I could go down to Manchester, even though most people in England call Manchester up north. I call it down south. I'm going to be in Manchester soon. I'll be in Manchester to make one of my next videos. Maybe not the next one, but the one after that. I'll be in Manchester, Cracadilly Gardens. Here we come.
근데 일단 성 갔다가 오면서 잘리자.
Could you ever get tired of that view? Me, I'm for sure saying no. Could never get tired of that view. Hope you're enjoying my video. If you like the video, give me a subscribe. It's free, you don't have to pay any money. I've never asked for anybody to buy me a coffee. I've not got a Patreon or a GoFundMe or any of that. I'm just into making videos. This is my hobby. I'm not interested in clicks or views. Well, I am, but not so that I can go about saying how many clicks and views I've had. I'm just into putting videos out there and I hope that somebody likes them. So, like the video, shoot me a subscription. It means a lot. Every time I get a subscription, I dance about my living room like a kid. So, obviously, like everybody else, when you get a like or a subscribe, it does give you a good feeling, but that's not why I do it. The reason why I do it is because I feel like I've got something to contribute. It might not be the most academic point of view, but I feel that my point of view is valid. I feel like I'm short on money and long on time, so while everybody else is away doing whatever it is they're doing, I've got hundreds of time on my hands. So time that I use to research, look into things, been down a few rabbit holes. I've believed in a lot of nonsense at times, but when you see stuff and you know it's real, you can't unsee it. So that's where I'm at. I'm just trying to pass on some knowledge. I used to always say there's only one thing to do with good advice, and that's give it away. Whoop. 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 Down the steps. Every time I come to Edinburgh, it always makes me want to go for a pint. I don't know what it is, especially on a hot day like today. I just think I could do a day with a really nice chilled pint, like a nice Caffrey's or a Belhaven Best or a Guinness. A Guinness. We'll leave Tennant's Lager to the Tartan Army, the Boston Tea Party. I'm going to go for something else, but I definitely can feel a pint coming on. Just a one. Right. pause. So this guy here, sculpting the dog out of sand. Honestly, he's sculpting the dog out of sand. So, you see it in every city. You'll always see them just farting about, working on a wee tiny bit. Looks brilliant now, even though it's a mould. Get the number 10 to Benally, where the Benally Reservoir is. It's where Edinburgh gets its water, Benally. That blonde you see in front, I'm not having a spy, she's smoking a nice bit of weed. Wouldn't have thought that. So there's the Apple store, the bite out of the apple, the Eve in the Garden of Eden. Pure satanic. First Apple computer was $666, and you believe me, pure satanic. We'll finish this video roughly where we started it, with the traffic cone. It looks a lot better. That's what I call classic. Defacing statues. Let's be honest, it's Wellington. A fucking war dog. The Battle of Waterloo. Alrighty then. Wellesley. Knob End. Let's take a wee bump into the St James's Quarter. Unfortunately, we're not allowed to film in here. Yep, we're not allowed to film in here. No lie, we can film everywhere else in Britain, but not here.